She's the pretty woman that smiled and dazzled her way into all of our hearts. However, Julia Roberts has done some not-so-pretty things in the name of love. Today, the actress is married to the father of her 3 children, Daniel Moder. And while they're busy living their happily ever after, things didn't start out that way. In fact, things started in a rather scandalous manner for the couple. And by scandalous, we mean the adulterous kind. Yep, who would have thought that the angelic Julia Roberts fell in love with her current husband after having an affair? We have all the details on how the actress broke Benjamin Bratt's heart with an affair that not many people want to talk about. Julia met Benjamin in 1997 when they bumped into each other at a restaurant. Benjamin walked into the room, and when Julia looked up at him, it was like he was whacked over the head with a baseball bat. Can you blame the guy? We can believe that Robert's smile can have that effect on people.
Can I stay a bit longer?
Stay forever.
The actual story is wildly interesting and calamity-filled and hilarious and wonderful and all these great things that are incredibly personal and private to us. Julia said about the night they met, wanting to keep the details of the evening to herself. No doubt that Julia was obviously madly in love, bubbling over with joy while cozied up in the bliss of their fairy tale romance. However, when it came to how Benjamin felt, he seemed to be a man of very few words. He admitted that how he felt couldn't be summed up in a few sentences, but he did try to do just that while saying, "She's an incredible woman." It seemed as though Roberts and Bratt had what it took to take Hollywood by storm with their love. They had a swoon-worthy and loving relationship, which is why they managed to make it work for a few years. Sadly, love wasn't enough to withstand their unusual circumstances.
Both of us deserve better than staying together because we're afraid we'll be destroyed if we don't.
Sadly, after almost 4 years as a couple, Benjamin Bratt's publicist confirmed in June 2001 that he and Julia Roberts were no longer together. While talking to David Letterman, Roberts explained that it had come to a kind and tender-hearted end, but acknowledged that the media couldn't accept the amicable nature of the split and instead had to make it messy and ugly.
I love Benjamin. He's a good man. He's a fine man. He is to the exaltation of the female single population, not my man anymore. Yeah. Sad, but true.
As for Bratt, he opened up about the failed romance in 2002 and referred to Robert's level of fame, admitting, "I wasn't so naive as to go into that relationship thinking, this will be an entirely normal experience. I experienced that living at that level of visibility is something that doesn't appeal to me." So, was it all as amicable as they were making it out to be? Well, to put it simply, no, it wasn't. This is where Julia's current husband, Daniel Moder, comes into the picture. Both Roberts and Moder were in committed relationships when they met on the set of the film The Mexican back in 2001. Moder, a cinematographer, had been married to makeup artist Vera Steinberg for 4 years, while Roberts was still with Benjamin. They had also been dating for almost 4 years. Despite both being in committed long-term relationships, it didn't stop the pair from falling head over heels in love with one another. By the time the cameraman met the actress, his marital commitment to Vera had gone out the window. Moder filed for divorce a little over a year later, but Steinberg didn't want to sign the divorce papers. It was alleged that Roberts had tried to shame her into it, which quickly backfired, putting her reputation on the line. The actress seemed to lose her hard-won status as America's sweetheart, and her career took a fumble too. As far as her personal life, however, everything worked out. According to reports, Roberts insisted that she wasn't the reason for Moder's divorce, but the rumors were too powerful to ignore. "He sorted his whole thing out, separate and apart from me," the actress confessed, "and I sorted my life out, separate and apart from him. I think that's the only reason we were able to ultimately fall in love with each other and be together." When Moder's divorce was eventually finalized, he immediately took the opportunity to propose to Roberts. They made their love official later that year and said their vows on July 4th, 2002, at Roberts' New Mexico ranch. Does anyone else see an ongoing theme with Mexico here? They met on the set of The Mexican, and then they married in Mexico. It's not hard to figure out that Moder is significantly less famous than Roberts. However, unlike Julia's ex, Bratt, Moder seemed to be completely unbothered by his new wife's fame. But maybe that's what made the couple work. Roberts had previously had a string of high-profile relationships with equally famous men over the years, and Moder was different from every one of them. I think that first kind of real, seismic shift was meeting Danny. Roberts told Gwyneth Paltrow in 2018. Getting married to Danny, that was the first, my life will never be the same in the most incredible, indescribable way. They probably also worked because they'd both previously been married. Roberts had been married to country singer Lyle Lovett for 2 years back in 1993. The Notting Hill star was also previously linked to Dylan McDermott, Matthew Perry, Jason Patric, and Liam Neeson. Julia and Daniel welcomed the twins Phineas and Hazel in 2004. Their third child, son Henry, was born in 2007. The thing is, we have these 3 human beings who are just a complete reflection of the affection we have for each other, Julia shared.
What's the ideal thing that you would like to get or do with the family?
Just all 5 of us be home and cozy all day.
The actress also admitted that there's no way to describe her relationship and life with her kids without sounding sappy or ridiculous, because everything in her mind ends with an exclamation point. In Gwyneth Paltrow's podcast, Roberts revealed that her husband is still her favorite human. Although the couple had a rocky start to their relationship, after almost 20 years together, they've proved that what they had was so much more than just an affair.
Ewan McGregor was married to Eve Mavrakis for 22 years. So, when McGregor was spotted on what looks like a date with his Fargo co-star, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, in 2017, it's fair to say that people were pretty confused. As it turned out, Ewan's not-so-secret affair caused his marriage to crumble, leaving his 4 daughters and wife feeling betrayed. We're going to tell you everything we know about Ewan's divorce from his wife and how he moved on with Mary despite the scandal that followed after their affair. Ewan McGregor met Mary Elizabeth Winstead back in 2017 on the set of the television show Fargo. In an interview, Winstead gushed about her co-star. "Ewan is incredible," she shared, while McGregor admitted, "I love working with Mary," adding that he knew that they were going to get along really well.
And Mary Elizabeth Winstead is very attractive.
Right.
In fact, the pair started bonding with one another before filming for the show had actually started. After getting cast in Fargo, Ewan and Mary decided to get to know each other a little more before they started working together. So, Ewan invited the actress over to his home for dinner with his wife and their 4 children. When she and McGregor started spending more time working together, they soon started developing feelings for one another.
You know, people, falling in love with somebody is probably one of our strongest emotional things that we go through, and it feels so good to fall in love with somebody. We love it.
By October of 2017, photographs of Ewan and Mary were published all over the tabloids. It appeared that the co-stars had gone on what looked like a date at the Good Life Eatery, a North London cafe. According to witnesses at the cafe, they were deep in conversation and were there together for more than an hour. As they left, she got onto the back of Ewan's motorbike and they sped off together. At one point during the evening, the couple even shared an intimate kiss. The photographs of the date spread like wildfire. Ewan was a married man with 4 children, so spending an intimate night out with another woman was a complete scandal. What's more is that around the same time, McGregor and his wife, Eve Mavrakis, were both spotted out and about without their wedding rings. So this left everyone wondering, did the actor's marriage of over 2 decades come to an end because of his relationship with Mary? Or did he and Eve end their marriage before the affair? Not long after the photographs of Ewan and Mary were published, the actor and his wife announced that they were separating. A close friend of the couple shared, "Eve is sure Ewan and Mary were together before he confessed his feelings for her. It is hard for her to believe him." So, at the beginning of 2018, McGregor officially filed for divorce from Eve, citing the usual irreconcilable differences. It was also reported that his now ex-wife was seeking sole custody of their children and only allowing him visitation rights. When asked about their split, Eve shared, "It's disappointing and upsetting, but my main concern is our 4 children are okay." But Ewan and Mary didn't wait for the divorce announcement before they were spotted out together. It was only a month after he and Eve had shared that they were separating that McGregor and Winstead were seen holding hands walking through Los Angeles. So, not only were they traveling across the globe together, but they were also not at all fazed by the drama surrounding their apparent affair. However, just a few months after his divorce was finalized, there were whispers that Ewan and Mary had decided to part ways. At the time, Mary was being labeled as a homewrecker for being the reason that Ewan had ended his marriage. It was reported that the actress was struggling with all the bad press she was getting for her relationship with McGregor.
You know, that this wasn't friendly and it wasn't encouraging or warm.
While working on the film Gemini Man together, the new couple were practically inseparable during filming. According to a reporter, the couple looked super cozy with one another. The way that she had her arm wrapped around him as they walked out of the trailer and chatted with some of the crew was sweet. Then they began holding hands and did not let go for the 15 minutes they were outside before getting into a car to leave.
I don't know, I'm very satisfied. I like it.
It was also reported that Ewan and Mary were thinking about getting married, but wanted to wait for the right time because his divorce was still so fresh. While McGregor has never openly spoken about his divorce or his relationship with Mary, during a 2019 interview, he hinted that he was in a much better place than he was just a few years ago. The actor shared, "I'm better, I'm happier. I think that's true." While that's all McGregor would say about his change, it's pretty clear that his relationship with Winstead has helped him to feel a little more comfortable in his own skin.
Lift us up where we belong. All you need is love.
On the other hand, while the media had been so focused on his divorce from Eve, people seem to have ignored the fact that Mary also went through a divorce of her own at the very same time. The actress split from her husband of 7 years, Riley Stearns, in 2017, around the same time that she had met McGregor. So is that just a coincidence? We'll leave that for you to decide. Apparently, the divorce was a big turning point, and she became open to change as a person. Ewan McGregor's ex-wife wasn't the only person impacted by his relationship with Mary. In fact, it seems that his 4 daughters also took the divorce pretty hard. In 2018, Ewan's eldest daughter, Clara McGregor, turned to Instagram to complain about her father's new girlfriend. She replied to an Instagram post on a Winstead fan account that called the actress the most beautiful and talented woman on earth. Clara retorted, "Oh man, y'all are delusional. The girl is a piece of trash." If Clara's comment wasn't enough, another of Ewan's daughters also took to the internet to voice her distaste for her father's actions. Esther McGregor wrote a song called "Made You a Man," which she sang on Instagram in 2018. The song featured lyrics like, "I don't know how to forgive you, I don't know if I can." She also mentioned how photos of her father with Winstead had been published on her 15th birthday.
Seeing those pictures, they're making me cry. Happy birthday to me, am I right?
To make things a little more uncomfortable, when Ewan won a Golden Globe for his role in Fargo, the TV show where he had met and fell in love with Mary, he thanked both his ex-wife and his new girlfriend for all the support they had given him.
I want to take a moment to just say thank you to Ev, who always stood by me for 22 years, and my 4 children,
he said in his speech. He then mentioned his girlfriend and character's love interest.
And there would have been no Ray without Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
By 2019, the couple took the next step in their relationship when they bought a house together in Topanga Canyon, a popular Hollywood area for celebrities who enjoy a low-key lifestyle. In 2021, Ewan and Mary had their first child together, a bouncing baby girl they named Laurie McGregor. The couple was thrilled with the new addition to their family, and they were also making an effort to mend their relationship with Ewan's other 4 daughters. Finally, wedding bells rang for the couple in 2022. McGregor and Winstead had a small ceremony surrounded by close friends and family to celebrate their love with them. An insider revealed they had an outdoor ceremony. It was lovely and joyful. The menu was farm to table. They're an adorable couple. They are pretty low-key and like their canyon life. They often hike and go to the beach. So while there is no doubt that Mary and Ewan definitely had a rough start to their relationship, for them, it wasn't just an affair. They truly love each other, and sometimes people are willing to sacrifice everything for love, no matter what people may think or what the consequences may be.
I love you, baby. You have no idea.
We just hope that Eve is able to heal her heart and that McGregor is able to mend his relationship with his daughters. All we want is for everyone to be happy.
Sting and Trudy Styler have been together for over 4 decades now, and they're still as in love as when they met. The way their romance started, though, turned a lot of heads back in the day.
The marriage, I'd go crazy too. So I need that balance. And she's very strong. I feel like an orbit because she's central to my life.
Why? Well, Sting was married with 2 children when he met Trudy, who was his wife's best friend. In 1974, Sting's whole world changed when he met his first wife, Frances Tomalty. After a little over a year of dating, Frances fell pregnant, and when she was 3 months along, the pair got married in a Catholic ceremony. Not only was Styler acquainted with Sting after their meeting, she was also a close friend of Tomalty since they met during a production of Macbeth. Sting's wife at the time took the actress under her wing and they became good friends. At the time of Sting and Trudie's meeting, he was a struggling musician who had just formed a little-known band called The Police and was juggling marriage with a newborn baby. Despite his outrageous looks, the actress couldn't help but fall in love. "I thought I fancy that guy with green hair," she said. It was certainly love at first sight for Sting as well. In his autobiography, Broken Music, he wrote about what he felt when he met the actress. "Her eyes are a pale green, and across her left cheek is a strip of scar tissue that curls like the violent memory of an animal claw. Strangely, the scar in no way detracts from her beauty because she looks to me like a kind of damaged angel," he wrote. Although Sting claims that him and Styler were platonic for at least the first year of their relationship, it's not known exactly when they began to see one another romantically. Neither are proud of the situation and remain quiet on the exact details for the benefit of everyone involved. Soon, things got murky. Frances and Sting welcomed their second child in 1982, and it was around the same time that she discovered her husband's affair with Trudy. Not long after the birth, they separated. It wasn't until 1984 that Sting and Tomlty divorced, and that same year, Styler gave birth to a daughter. Sadly, the demise of the Police would be coinciding with the breakup of his family. There would follow a season in hell for everyone involved, he said. After the divorce, strict Catholic Frances kept her dignity and would only say of the split, "I'm happy everything has gone through. It's been done amicably." She had longed for the fairy tale marriage ever since she was young, but Sting's growing fame, good looks, and inability to be faithful meant their 1976 wedding was doomed. He once announced that it was cool to be promiscuous and admitted to sleeping with 5 women in 1 week during a US tour. As the band took off, he would not see his young family for weeks on end.
It was wonderful to spend more time at home, with my wife and in the same bed every night and walking my dog.
Things seemed different when he married Trudy, as his womanizing ways were no longer. He became the family man he was meant to be, as the couple had 4 children together over the next 20 years of their relationship. While Sting says that it wasn't his goal to have a big family, he is forever grateful that he has it. "I became a dad by accident 6 times. That's how smart I am. Yet they were the happiest accidents of my life because they're remarkable human beings. They have produced 7 grandchildren at this point who are also wonderful. So I didn't intend to be the patriarch of a tribe, but I am," he said. Over the years, he has also spoken about how difficult it must have been for his kids to have him as a dad. He was sure there were times it was great to be his child, and other times it was a pain in the ass. When he would go pick up his kids from school, there were other parents asking for his autograph, which was embarrassing for him and his children. "With my children, there is great wealth, success, a great shadow over them, so it's no picnic at all being my child. I discussed that with them. It's tough for them," he said.
People ask me about this statement I've made about not leaving any vast fortune to my children. I say I wouldn't want to rob my children of the adventure and the privilege of making it on their own, of actually making a living on your own. It's a fantastic thing to do.
The musician did say he will always help them if they're in trouble, even though he has never really had to do that. Trudy and Sting dated for 10 years before tying the knot in 1992. The pair had a rock and roll, star-studded iconic wedding that would kick them off into what has now been 30 years of marriage and 45 years of love. How have they managed to be more loved up than ever? Well, Sting has a theory. We love each other, which is a given, but we also like each other, and that's an important distinction. Love is passion, but liking somebody and enjoying their company is different, and it lasts longer. Be married to your best friend, he said. The power couple is proof that you don't have to repeat the patterns of the past, and there is always room for improvement. Both pride themselves on having great communication skills, something Sting says he didn't possess in the past. Talking about how they feel also helps maintain a healthy relationship. Equally important is the strong friendship and trust that they have built over the years. We treat every day as it comes. Relationships aren't easy, and I don't think they're particularly natural. Trudy lights my world up when she comes into a room. I don't take her for granted, he said. How sweet is that? Many are shocked that their relationship has lasted as long as it has, and the couple are just as shocked. When people ask him how it has lasted this long, he always says it is an absolute miracle and they don't take it for granted. Even though they have tips and tricks to a loving marriage, they're also not quite sure how they pulled it off. This is especially true because they are different in a lot of ways. She also made light of the situation. 30 years on, sparks still flying. After 30 years, I guess he's just used to the wreckage. Maybe that's why he goes on tour, she said. As for what life looks like now for the couple, their kids are all grown up and not expecting any inheritance from their well-off dad. Sting has continued to make music, tour, travel with his wife, and they are now winemakers too. They are also involved in a lot of charitable efforts, which is something Styler has always been passionate about. After a lifetime together, the way they started their relationship is still in question, which, of course, is still upsetting to them. Trudy does have something to say about how they have gotten past the scandalous affair. Neither of us are proud of a situation that happened. It just happened. We loved each other and we lived together, and then we got married and we had more kids. And that's our life story, she said. The way your relationship unfolds may not be the romantic love story we expect, especially because others were hurt in the process. While Sting and Trudy Styler's romance was initially smeared with scandal and shame, the couple now lives a happy and fulfilling married life. Let us know in the comments if you believe in soulmates and what you think of this love story. As always, this has been Rumour Juice. Be well and be kind.